Hello, everyone, and welcome to this Wednesday edition of our Cisco podcast on behalf of Nutley High School. I'm your host, Vinny, and joining me today are
Andrew, Adrian.
So first off, we're gonna give a general overview of net neutrality, and then basically we're gonna share our separate opinions on it. So first, general overview.
So my general overview of net neutrality is that it's pretty much the idea that all internet websites are treated like equally. So Google has the same weight as, let's say, like Yahoo or AOL. With net neutrality, an ISP doesn't have the power to control what websites get more bandwidth than others. So everything's treated equally, and they can't charge you more for a particular website over another.
Personally, I think that net neutrality is sort of a way for internet service providers to kind of level the playing field, to kind of make the internet more fair. For example, Apple's website would have the same speed as maybe our own school's website. And so it kind of really evens everything out.
I think about net neutrality as like cars on a highway. So like on a highway, there's like a fast lane and then there's a slow lane. So normally, with net neutrality, all speeds of all internet websites are the same. But when you take net neutrality away, there's internet websites that go faster than others.
So the reason people are so upset about the repeal of net neutrality is that they don't want to pay extra for certain websites. So with the repeal of net neutrality, ISPs could now start charging more for simple services that we take for granted. So example, if you prefer Bing to Google, then your ISP might make Google more expensive or Bing more expensive. And if that is the case, then people who are barely meeting their bills are going to have a lot more trouble trying to pay for these websites. And that also makes it harder for ISPs to create more fair and even rates for everyone, since there's so many different prices in place for all sorts of different websites. It also makes it bad for competitors too, since obviously Bing is a lot smaller than Google. They could place a higher price on the bandwidth for Bing, which might be not so good for Bing, since they can't really promote their service.
Yeah, that's certainly a good point you made, because everything I feel it's a money business these days. Verizon can say, hey, we want to charge you $20 here, or AT&T can say, hey, we want to charge you $10 here. So I think there's a lot of hidden fees, and there's a lot of loopholes that ISPs can certainly take advantage of. And so that's what they're going to do when given the opportunity to exploit it.
So a little bit of history behind how net neutrality was actually repealed. So it was repealed when Ajit Pai, the chairman of the FCC, and what he did is he actually successfully repealed net neutrality for his own interest, it seems like. So for a while now, he's long opposed net neutrality, so he wasn't a big fan of it in simpler terms. And we could see that because June 11th of 2018, that's when he actually got it repealed successfully. And it faced, obviously, a public outcry, legal challenges from state attorneys, and public interest groups, because a lot of us know what actually happened when net neutrality was repealed. Everyone was talking about it. It was a big thing in, culture, especially for younger people, since our generation, teenagers, were really centered around social media and websites, and we do a lot of our research with search providers like Google. And net neutrality might make things like that more expensive for us for no particular reason, and that would just benefit specific ISPs. And it really doesn't do much to serve the public, since it just makes everything a bit more expensive. Especially in the future, we'll see more of what these fees actually do.
So overall, guys, what would you say about net neutrality? Do you think it's a popular move, or do you think it's an unpopular move?
So to sum everything up, I think net neutrality is a very popular and important thing to America, as it was like a norm before it was taken away. And I feel like that's why a lot of people got so mad, because when you're used to something, you don't want it like taken away from you right away. So that's why it was such like a big deal, in my opinion. And that pretty much wraps up our podcast. So thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.